Governor Brown and Mayor Peterson and members of the Salem City Council, city staff, and of course to all those here that the mayor talked about that have worked so hard to bring us to this point, and will continue to work hard, I'm sure, because that's what we do in Salem. Volunteer and work hard. Also, my wife Margie, she's out there somewhere, so also want to recognize Senator Jackie Winters is with us. She did an extraordinary thing on the Senate floor this morning, which I think will be heralded not only in the state newspapers but across the nation, as well as I know that Paul Evans here, Representative Paul Evans is here, and there's probably somebody else here. I'm going to get in trouble, but I did want to acknowledge them. You know, I have a pretty good staff in the Capitol, and we worked on some remarks, and I just said last night I can't do this, and so I just didn't do the remarks. I just said I don't know what I'm going to do today, and so I feel very alone right now and very guilty, and I'm sure that's going to shock you, but you have to understand. In the 70s, I was very new to the city council. It was totally by accident I got there. And when we started to talk about Salem, I remember there was concern that Salem was really moving, but it was moving to its outer limits. And so there was real struggles about the downtown. How do you keep it intact? But how do you keep a community together as it grows? I mean, how do you make sure that the North Salem feels like it's part of its community? How do you make sure that East Salem, which is really dramatically moving in that direction, how do you talk to a West Salem, which one time was a city, and make sure that they know that even though that it takes bridges to get over there, that there's this great river between us, that they feel, hey, I'm part of this great thing called the state capital, the great state of Oregon. And of course, South Salem, where the big growth was when I was in the city council, how do you make sure that no matter how far out south you go, that they get the feeling? Connect Salem was the big issue. We knew we could do it with buildings, and we knew we could do it, or thought we could do it with parks. What's so ironic about today is we never dreamed it would be the footbridge. We never dreamed about that until one time, and I'm not going to tell you who did it, way back there in that building over there, the railroad trestle bridge there was abandoned by the locomotive company that owned it, and we didn't know what to do. And somebody said to the city council at the time, it was a very late night session, well, maybe we should use it as a walkway, because we had a couple fields over at a place called Wallace Marine. There's only a couple fields. And at the time, Minto Brown, we were trying to make it a big, nice jogging area. We couldn't even see this. Where I am today, you couldn't see this. There was nothing, you couldn't be here. We couldn't see the river from downtown. You couldn't see it. There was no visual. So here we were messing with ideas. And I remember the drawings, they're sort of vague now, I'm pretty old, but we all assumed that we would never see this come true. And that is why I feel so guilty. Last night, I went through the names of people on that council, the city managers, and see, they're all gone, most of them. And there's just me. And it just doesn't seem right that the gods allowed me to be here at this moment to see the realization of those drawings. And you cannot understand how, when you're in these kinds of meetings, just to be allowed to be in those meetings, just to be allowed to be a part of the planning, let alone to be here today, it's such an honor and a privilege. And so, you know, I'm really happy to be here, but I can't say enough about Mayor Peterson and the present city council and the city staff. They got us here. I liken this whole journey to like a relay race. Somebody's got to run the first leg. Well, back in she said the first part of the 40s, it was my council and us that tried to run that first leg. Today, we see the results of the final leg. And I just can't say enough the fact that I thank the gods for allowing me to be here. I thank the city councils, the city managers that all worked so hard as they took the baton and they ran their leg to get us this extraordinary moment. I just hope I'm doing okay here today on behalf of all those that aren't here, the city managers, the members of that council, and the staff. And I also hope that you will feel that we ran that first leg, that we did it okay. Thank you.